Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Brett Holland, and if you are here, that means you are like me and you are interested in starting the sober life. I'll start by telling you a little bit about myself. I'm 32 years old. I'm a musician, a photographer. I recently just started turning photography into a side business. I've been doing it my whole life. Now I'm photographing weddings, baptisms, family photo shoots. It's a great experience. I love turning a passion into something that's, a business, I guess. It's a good feeling. I'm teaching guitar lessons too to a bunch of pretty brilliant students. I mean, they pick up things pretty quick. Art's always been a big part of my life, especially music. I went to the University of Lethbridge for a few years, studied digital audio arts. Really wanted to learn how to record my own demos, and that was back when I was younger and playing in a metal band, and really delved into it and really had a big support group that pushed me through that. Really nurtured that passion. What else? I work in a warehouse, pays the bills, but, I don't define my life by my job. I'm always found that you need to have a goal, you need to have a dream, you need to have something that you're working towards, right? Like, the job ain't the end game. The end game is what you're building. That's just my philosophy anyways. Let's see, what else? I grew up in a little town called Fernie, BC. I lived there for 20 some odd years. I lived in Lethbridge, Alberta while I was going to school for a number of years. And now I'm living up in Flin Flon, Manitoba. I came up here about 6 years ago now. Just wanted to start my whole life over. I guess that ties into the story about my relationship with alcohol, because ultimately that is what ended up bringing me here in the first place. That started when I was 18. 18 was when I really started heavily drinking. I was dealing with a lot. I was just starting university, and my dad was diagnosed with cancer. I used alcohol to cope, really depressing thing to go through, especially when you're that young. And that mixed in with the fact you're surrounded by a whole bunch of people partying. I mean, why not? Go join them. Go have fun. They're all having a good time. You wanted to. And, started off just going on the weekends like everybody else. Over the years, though, that slowly turned into every weekend, every night, every chance you could get. Shots before class. It just spiraled out of control all so fast. And that probably went on for a good almost 10 years. And in between there, my mom passed away as well. Dog passed away. Girlfriend left me. Failed relationship after failed. It just seemed like life was really kicking me down. So, the harder life kicked, the more I partied. I went to so many festivals, so many raves, so it was just a crazy whirlwind of adventure, I guess. I wish I could remember a lot of it. I ended up dropping out of school. I just couldn't do it. Just with everything, trying to manage a house that I now had after my parents left me to manage, and trying my own mental health just took a huge nosedive, and I just couldn't hack it. So I moved back home, grabbed a bunch of roommates, and just tried to figure my life out. Started working as an audio engineer, and that was the first time I felt like I was finally turning things around. I was working pretty steady at the bars in town, working with local bands and bands that were coming through, and it was a really great place to do that. Fernie was a really huge art community with a really big music scene at the time, probably still does. Met a lot of really great people, had a lot of great opportunities, got to do lights and sound for Travis Tritt in an arena, had an opportunity to go work with the Bare Naked Ladies, but that was when, I was pretty much at rock bottom. Met a lot of great people though, and a lot of great friends. Some really, really amazing souls that just pushed me through and helped get me here. Always grateful for them. Always keep your eyes out for those people. They're the ones that when you are at your absolute worst, they're still behind you, patting you on the back, saying, "It's going to be all right, man. You're good. You got this. Can we help? Yeah, special people. So the first time I quit drinking was after kids came into my life, and I just really wanted to be a better person. I was tired of what I was doing, just drinking the days away, self-loathing, life sucks, blah blah blah. So I stopped, and things were good for a while. And I think my problem was I started getting too comfortable. I don't know, I just started feeling like I was missing out again. Like, I kind of, COVID happened, we were all cooped up inside for years, and then all of a sudden everything opened up and everybody was like, hey, let's go out, and why not? Like, I thought, hey, I got this under control. And I guess the big takeaway from that is, if you have a problem with addiction, do not tempt fate. You do not have it under control. It'll go out of control so fast. You got to admit your own weaknesses. You have to look at yourself and say, hey, there's some things I can do and some things I can't do, and why should I tempt myself if I can just remove myself from the situation? And it's hard, especially if you made a whole lot of friends and your whole life revolved around just sitting around drinking. If you were a bar star and you were just going out every weekend, that's what you did, and that's how you met everybody, then it is going to kind of feel like you're shaking your whole life up, and it's not an easy thing to do, especially by yourself. Things that I have learned are that not everybody will be supportive, and you don't have to expect everybody to be. You're going to see a couple of different reactions to it. Some people might look at you and go, ugh, you're getting sober? Why? And, makes you feel kind of weird. Other people will support you and say, wow, I'm proud of you, I'm really great, but, they're not going to join you. They're still going to go out every weekend, and, that's fine. You will notice that people will end up dropping out of your life slowly. If you didn't do anything but drink, then you didn't really have anything in common. And that was my big problem, was drinking to try to fit in. Another reaction that you might get is the people, and these are very few people, they really got to care about you. They will hold you accountable for it. There are a few people in my life where when I said I am getting sober and I'm going to quit drinking, when I went and talked to them and said, hey, I'm going out to the bar with some friends, they looked at me and they're like, what? I thought you said you were quitting. And, at first it got kind of annoying. It was like, oh, I can make my own decisions. Oh, I do what I want. But now that I'm where I'm at, looking back on it, it was like, man, you really cared. Like, thank you for listening to me, and thank you for trying to push me in the right direction. I didn't listen, but I should have. So yeah, we all make mistakes though. That's life. We're all human. You can't let it get you down. You can't dwell on it. You can't suck yourself into that vicious cycle of feeling like crap and then going out to drink so you don't feel like crap, and then you end up coming back and you just feel worse, and then you just keeps going. But let's look at some of the positives that I have noticed since I have quit and cut it out of my life. And that are some of the health benefits. That sleep. I sleep on a regular schedule now, 7 days a week, and it's great. I didn't realize how much I was throwing my whole health cycle off by working all week and then Friday not sleeping. Just staying up all night and then getting a couple hours, and then Saturday just busy, dead Saturday night, Sunday just barely alive and getting through, and then you're back to the grind again. Like, it wears you down real fast. Especially if you're not happy doing it. Like, I didn't want to be a rock star. I didn't want to be a weekend warrior. It's not for me. Other health benefits I've noticed is my mind is a lot more positive than it was when I was heavily drinking. When you deal with depression and tragedy in your life, it can be real easy to get sucked into that danger zone, I guess you want to call it, where you just start thinking about everything that's going wrong. Nothing can go right. It's never going to get any better. Just give up. Just, you're done. Why bother? You can't let yourself do that. And I found that over time, the further away I got from it, the less those thoughts were becoming prevalent in my mind. Now it's, well, if I can stop doing this, what other unhealthy habits can I quit doing? What healthier habits can I add now? Like, if I'm not going out to the bar and feeling crappy all Saturday morning, what can I do with my Saturday morning? So I started working out. I started following a pretty strict diet, and I thought, you know what? Now I can just eat some healthy foods. I don't feel like I need a greasy burger every weekend. I don't feel like I need a, hangover meal. Waking up early in the mornings is really nice. I just, I feel like I got the whole day ahead of me. Like, I've been waking up at about 5:30 now with no alarm clock, just up. And it just, what am I going to do today? I got between now and midnight. Yeah, so there's all that. Self-confidence too. Oh, weight. I lost a bunch of weight. That's a big one too. When I started drinking a lot, I started really packing on the pounds. Like, all my jeans were starting to get pretty tight. And within the first couple of weeks of just cutting it out, I noticed that my clothes were starting to fit better. Especially added now with the working out. Like, I'm actually starting to feel pretty good about myself for the first time in a while, which is great. And that's the other thing too. The more you get that ball rolling, the more it just starts giving you reasons to smile. You keep seeing those weeks go by, and those weeks turn into months, and I'm looking forward to it turning into a year. I want to see what happens at the end of a year. If I just cut out the distractions, focus on the positive, let's see how much I can turn my life around in a year. And I'd like to share that with you. Maybe I might make some mistakes, and I'll share them. Maybe you won't make them. Maybe I'll figure out something that works for me. Maybe it'll work for you too. Drop a comment or something if you find something that I might want to try. Let's push each other through this next year. Everything just got crazy. We had 2 years of COVID. The world just went nuts. Things are tense. People are still coming out of it, I guess. Let's make next year a good year. So if you're ready to make a change and you are ready to try something different, let's try it out together. See how it goes. What could go wrong? It's already went wrong, right? What more could go wrong? At least the heart's in the right direction, right? So some goals that I'm setting forth for myself are continuing with this YouTube channel and keeping up with it. It's something I've always wanted to do. It's always been on my bucket list. I grew up with the dawn of YouTube. It was just always there. And it turned into this big beast, and I've always been watching it, wondering, why aren't I on there? Why aren't I doing anything? Well, I guess I should start now. I have some equipment, bare minimum. This is a big hole in it. I've had it for over a decade. I got a decent microphone for recording my music. I've got a decent setup. Got some photography lights, so I figured, why not? Start somewhere, right? You got to put your foot forward and take one step. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be great. Who cares? So what are some of your goals? Drop a comment and tell me, what are some dreams that you have? Don't be afraid to have them. Who cares if it doesn't work out? Yeah, I might never blow up on YouTube. I might never be a famous rock star. It doesn't matter. It's about the process. I might not be a famous rock star, but if I went back and played guitar for my 14-year-old self, I would blow my mind out of the water. If I drug my 18-year-old self who was just starting out with recording and showed him all the gear and stuff that I had, he would freak out and be jealous. Sometimes you got to remember that where you are now was where you once wished you were. And take all the positives. If you are still here and you are still alive, then you can still do something. You can do anything you want. You can change anything you want. You can completely flip the script and change your whole life. And sometimes life will do that for you. So, I guess to close off this video, I'll keep the video short because this is my first attempt. I don't want to go overboard and bring too much information. Anything you'd like to talk about, let me know. If you're interested in following through this journey together, like and subscribe. I'm going to try to keep consistent with these videos, try to keep consistent with everything else that I'm doing over this next year. I know the holidays are rough, especially if you're trying to get sober for the first time, or if you're even just thinking about it because everybody's out there partying. You know, you got to make a commitment. You got to make a sacrifice. Remember, this is for you. This is for your future. You are going to look back on the decision you make now, later, and I'm hoping you will love yourself for it, because I'm hoping I'm going to love myself for it. All right, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you again.